Hi everyone, I'm Celeste, and this video is about my birth of my second child. If you are here for cosplay videos, DIY, and fashion, this video is not the one that you want to know about. This one will talk about graphic content, and it's just a vlog! So if you are here for the vlog, thank you, and let's just get down into the bloody, dirty, nitty gritty. And I will not be sharing lots of photos. That day was hectic. Okay, if you're new to my channel, I usually do cosplay sewing. You can see all the crafting materials behind me, but I am talking about my birth story. I shared my first birth here on YouTube, and I figured it's only time that I share about my second birth. So it kind of went down in the fact that it was really strange. So the Friday leading up to my son's birth, which was the 14th, my midwife said that she was actually very concerned with how big my stomach has gotten. And they were like, okay, well, I just think that you need to have an extra ultrasound. So let's schedule it for Monday. Monday being the 17th of June. And what happened was we came in for the ultrasound, and my mother-in-law is visiting and helping us with the birth process. So she came with me to the hospital, and I told my husband, we just need to be careful. I need you to stay home from work and work from home. This way, if they have to induce me, we're safe. So we go in, and the ultrasound proved that I just had way too much water in, well, water or amniotic fluid. So that was really dangerous because I could actually collapse my placenta. So it's really scary hearing from the midwife, the ultrasound technician, that I had too much amniotic fluid. So what we did was talk to a doctor, what was my options, and luckily we had the foresight to tell my husband to stay home. So we went back home, got the hospital bag that I already packed, and got anything else that we needed. I was pretty hungry, but they were like, oh, you shouldn't have food just in case if you need to do something. So I was basically starving at that point. And then we got back to the hospital, and they're like, okay, are you ready for this? I'm like, I don't even know how like inducing works. Can you walk me through it? And they take like this little stick and they just poke my amniotic sac until it ruptures. Turns out I was actually already starting to dilate that day. So I was going to give birth regardless. But it's just much safer that I did it at the hospital just in case my placenta came rushing out. Not my placenta, but my umbilical cord. So when I've been saying umbilical cord and placenta, like reverse that. So my umbilical cord could become prolapsed, aka fall out first before the baby, causing him to be stuffed, like starved of air. That's really dangerous. So we had an anesthesiologist talk to me, we had a doctor talk to me, and the midwives talk to me, just in case if we had to go into an emergency C-section. So then we went ahead and broke my water around 1 o'clock, I believe. That was the time frame. After that, like, I didn't have any contractions at all until the midwife was like, we got to make sure the contractions start soon. So why don't you bounce on a ball? And I'm like, what ball? And so she brought in a yoga ball for me to actually like bounce up and down on and take a hot shower, like just rinse myself with it. And then all of a sudden the contractions just happened. It was like, pow, pow. And it really hurt. So it felt like I had a poop, which is really weird because that didn't happen the first time. And I definitely forgot a stress ball. If you are pregnant and you are scared, bring some kind of squeezy toy or a stress ball or a hand workout grip thing. So that way it helps you deal with the pain. You can focus it on something else while it's happening. And yeah, my contractions happened so fast. So the anesthesiologist, it was a different one. She came in and she's like, okay, I'm here to give you your epidural. I'm like, let me try going to the bathroom really quickly. And it was just so hard for me to even walk because the contractions were just so painful. I didn't have the cocktail from the first time, and I definitely didn't have the epidural in yet. So what started happening was that I got back to my bed, my cot that I was in, and the anesthesiologist never came back. And it was so painful because even after an hour, I started crying. I'm like, please give me some kind of painkiller, any painkiller. And so they gave me laughing gas. I have never felt so scared in my life to have laughing gas. I tried. You have to keep using it constantly. I have very weak lungs, but I felt like I was being suffocated. So now I understand kind of what claustrophobia is, and just wearing the mask and having to breathe it in and out. It didn't even really set in for me, unfortunately. So that didn't work. I was in a lot of pain. I was getting lightheaded because of the laughing gas. It didn't make me feel any better. It was just like something to distract me. And I couldn't. I just couldn't use the laughing gas, and it takes a long time. And it's like maybe if we had used the laughing gas before we had popped my like water, then it would have been probably been better. But it wasn't. So I was still in a lot of pain. And it sucked because the two midwives that were helping me, I had a legit midwife and then I had a student helping midwife, like a shadowing midwife. And they didn't speak a lot of English because I live in Denmark. And they just like, Marisa, remember to he, hoo, and calm down. I'm like, oh my God, I'm giving birth to a human. How can I calm down? Like, this is not happening. So it really sucked in that essence. And lo and behold, my son came out at 2:42. And after I was done pushing him out and everything, then the anesthesiologist came in. But let me backtrack a little bit. So I gave birth on my back this time. The first time I gave birth on my side. It was just a lot easier to do that. But I felt something called the ring of fire. The first time I didn't feel it, and that's because of the epidural. But this time, because I had a pure natural birth, I didn't get any of the laughing gas in me, so I can't say that I actually know how laughing gas feels to actually be under laughing gas. I definitely felt every single inch of pain, everything. I felt everything. Like him coming down, like him missing. My son actually missed coming out of my cervix and was hitting like my hip bone and like my pelvic bone. And I was like, why does it hurt so weirdly? Why is it hurting on my left side? They're like, oh, it's possible for your baby to miss the cervix. I was like, this is a thing? I've never heard of that before. And it really sucked. So actually giving birth to him only took about 10 minutes. The whole contraction thing took 2 hours. And that's from being induced and then finally getting him out. This was such a fast birth that I don't even know if the epidural would have actually helped this time around. And I'm like, I don't ever want to do a pure natural birth like that again. 2 hours or not, that 2 hours was complete hell. And I'm just like, I'm bleeding so hard. I have a level 2 tear, which is normal. Lost 1 liter of blood. That's normal. Everything was normal. Everything was fine. I did not prolapse the umbilical cord, so it is okay. My son came out fine and he's super healthy. So yeah, this is just a quick video on what happened with the second time I'm giving birth. I just want to let girls know, or women know, if you are about to give birth, get the painkiller. It is painful. It is not fun. Some people can bear through it. I am not great at pain. I can handle some, but that was a new level. And this baby was slightly bigger than my first baby. And just the added fear about having more amniotic fluid really scared me. My mother and my mother-in-law helped calm me down because I started crying. I was so nervous. Like, I expected to have a natural birth, but I was going already into labor with my cervix already starting to dilate before they popped my water. And it's break my water, I know. So it was just really fast, really quick and easy. And then I rested for 5 hours and then I went home. And now I have a new son. So hopefully this little like second birth story will totally let you all know no two births will exactly be the same. And I heard that with more kids that you have, the faster it gets. So I went from 16 hours with my first birth with an epidural, and now my second son, no epidural, somewhat laughing gas. I know it got in my system, but I don't know how strong it was. And then it was only 2 hours from being induced and then giving birth and such. So yeah, that ring of fire thing really hurts. I just had this instinct of get him out faster. And this time I actually screamed pretty hard for my son to come out. So his first words that I gave him were, "Get out!" So that's that. Thank you so much for watching this little vlog. If you enjoyed it, or if you have any questions about how my pregnancy went, leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer them. Like this video if you got to at the 5-minute mark, and I will see you in another video. Thank you so much, and remember to stay inspired, be creative, and I will see you in a future video. Bye!